I know it's hard. Can I just say, if you had one of these boxes with the Anna Al-Watan charity label on them, can you bring it forward, please? Can you just bring it forward?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very unusual hat there. That's wrong.
Okay, so I just want to say quickly, I'm the organizer for the Yemen protest here.
I saw Canada.
I was in contact with the whole Black Lives Matter as well on Instagram, and we decided to join Unite because we represent the whole group. And obviously, when we unite, obviously there's lots of black people in Yemen as well, so obviously we're going to unite. And we just want to show our love and our support for all of the Yemeni people, all of the black people, every single person that represents us, stands with us as well. I know there's a lot of multicultural people here as well. I'm so happy and proud to see. So obviously the Yemen protest, as well as the Black Lives Matter protest as well, we'll be back, all Black Lives Matter. We'll be back again next week, inshallah, on Sunday. The Yemen protest starts to take place, and we'll unite again here at the end. And of course, it's going to be bigger and better, and inshallah we'll make the crowds bigger, better. We can't even see them pass. Obviously, you will know for the Yemen protest details will be sent on Instagram by myself. Please make sure to share them. And what we're going to do, we're going to start again this Saturday.
Very here.
We've got the Race Offenders Register Association with us as well. Please can you go onto Facebook and add them up. They're doing all the movements just to push up the all Black Lives Matter. The same for please can you go on Facebook. That's the Race Offenders Register Association. Race Offenders Register Association. Please get onto that. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try something that we did with the Occupy movement. I'm going to say something and you're going to repeat it, alright? Alright? Okay. Mic check! Black Lives Matter! Can you hear me? Exactly, right? So mic check is something we do so everyone can hear what is being said. So now we've got a lot of speakers to get through. Where's Isaac?
Hi, our first speaker for today, Black Lives Matter is...
Started to say some interesting things, so I'm just going to wait for them to go down the streets.
And they passed that through as he handed over £12,000 to the Housing Secretary for that campaign to put 40 million to the Council of Tower Hamlet to give education and hospital and healthcare to the young working class people, to all working class people living in Tower Hamlet. Do our voices matter when we are being blocked? Our wealth is being blocked. We have a government that would rather take the money of capitalists who are funding oppression than to hear our voices. The prison industrial complex. That is an issue in the UK just as much as it is in the US. DHL, H&M, these companies use slave labor. Slave labor. And when we talk about slavery being abolished, it was never abolished, it was reformed. Reformed into the prison system.
Sign it.
So whose interest is that? Is it ours? No. It's the interest of the same people who wrote that Declaration of Independence. They've continued to keep us down. And if we are truly to fight for liberation, if we are truly to fight for liberation of black people and brown people all over the world, we must fight this injustice and abolish this system, because it was not built for us, it was built to enslave us. I'm going to say a little poem now on this issue. Democracy does not exist. It's just feudalism with a twist. Democracy does not exist because tyranny persists, controlled by the oligarchy of the white male patriarchy. For them, it is only their rights they defend, because our rights are the obstruction to their bottom line. Democracy does not exist when the fight for freedom is bombing kids touching ends. It's not the rights of Syria, Yemen and Palestine we defend. When we're talking about their rights, the Vim descends. Where was the energy for the Uyghurs? I guess liberation is just synonymous for oil proliferation. If war was really a fight for liberation, then our first stop would be the condemnation of the fascists of Trump and Bolsonaro, or the blazing capitalist inferno. If it was liberation, then we'd be stopping Israeli occupation. Democracy does not exist when voter suppression persists. The grandfather clause was not dismissed but reformed. When lines to vote wrap around city, the 19th Amendment becomes a footnote, a little lie they wrote. Democracy does not exist when freedom is confined to the cis. When our trans people right are being cut and their right to live in their truth is dismissed. Democracy does not exist and we should all be pissed. Because unless you're the 1%, honey, you should be discontent. Democracy does not exist, democracy does not exist, but our liberation will persist. Black lives, black lives, black lives, justice for, justice for, justice for. Thank you.
Unity! Unity! Justice for! Yemen! Justice for! Yemen! Black lives! Black lives!
Trans lives in
I
Yemen.
want to make an announcement, a quick announcement.
Are there trans in Yemen?
Me and my sister, we started a brand, non-profit organization. All the donations are going to go to Yemen. So could you please follow us on Instagram? We want you all to be wearing these t-shirts at the next march. Everyone. Inshallah, somewhere in Yemen on Instagram you can find us. Somewhere in Yemen. There's a dot between the S and the O somewhere in Yemen. Hopefully you guys can all be wearing these t-shirts. This is non-profit. We want to save our people. Justice for? Yemen! Justice for? Yemen! Justice for? Yemen! Black lives! Black lives! Black lives! Unity! 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 Unity!
So you guys, you're gonna have to support my daughter. She's only 11 years old and she's here to talk. She is a bit shy. This is her first time speaking in public. She's done the internet, she's done interviews on Instagram, on Facebook, she's done it all. But here today, she's here to speak to you in public. So please. So she's going to start off by doing something which is called the Black Alphabet, which she has learned off by heart, okay? So please support.
A is for Africa, the birthplace of humanity and civilization, and the second largest continent in the world. B is for Barack Obama, the first black American president of the United States. C is for the Civil Rights Act, the 1964 law which ended segregation in public places. D is for Dred Scott, a black man that escaped slavery. E is for emancipation. President Abraham Lincoln signed a petition so black people could be treated equally. F is for freedom rides. Black people that took bus trips through the South to protest segregated bus terminals. G is for the Greensboro Fort, a black man that sat at only white's lunch counter to protest segregation. H is for the Harlem Renaissance, a bombing that spanned the 1920s in Paris. I is for Ida B. Wells, a black woman who faced sexism and is a founder of the NAACP. J is for Jackie Robinson, the first African American to play Major League Baseball. K is for Katherine Johnson, a black woman that was one of the founders at NASA to help the first space launch. L is for the Little Rock Nine, the first black people to integrate Central High School, and the U.S. Army protected them from violence. M is for Martin Luther King Jr., a black man that stood up for black rights. N is for the NAACP, a group of black people to stop segregation in public places. O is for Oprah Winfrey, a TV talk host. P is for Philip Wheatley, a black woman that became a famous poet. Q is for Lloyd Quarterman, a black man that helped in the Manhattan Project and a bomb in the 1920s. R is for Rosa Parks, a black woman who sat her only white seat on a bus. S is for Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman to run for the Democratic Party. T is for Thurgood Marshall, the first black judge. U is for the Underground Railroad, a secret route of tunnels to escape slaves. V is for the Voting Rights Act, a vote that went on so black people could be treated equally. W is for Wilma Rudolph, the first black woman to win 3 gold medals in the Olympics. X is for Xavier University, the first black university in the United States. Y is for York, the first black man to participate in the Lewis and Clark expedition. And Z is for Zora Neale Hurston, another founder of the NAACP that faced lynching and sexism. Hi, my name is Shanti and I'm 11 years old and I'm here to stand up for black rights. It is so sad that we have to protest just to be treated equally. Why can't we be treated like every other race, and how many more years are we going to have to put up with this? It's time to make a change today, now. We need to make it clear we're not tolerating this anymore because Black Lives Matter too.